Well, hello, everybody. You're listening to Kay and Crystal, Small Business Sorted. So today's topic is something that's we hear a lot of, and it's certainly all over the social media, isn't it, Kay, all that talk?
It is.
And I guess it's a topic that if you've ever found yourself discussing invoices over dinner, if you're arguing about staff on a Saturday or a weekend, or wondering whether you're husband and wife or a business partner first, what role am I playing? And then basically this episode is for you. So it's really working with your partner without killing the relationship.
Exactly. Working with your partner without killing the relationship.
It's an interesting topic, but we thought we'd really bring it to you so that we could really discuss some of the ins and outs and what works, what doesn't work, and what you could do about it, because I think a lot of people find themselves in that sometimes.
Yeah. I think this topic is something that affects thousands of small businesses across Australia and other countries too, working with your partner.
Yes.
So if you've ever found yourself discussing invoices over dinner, arguing about staff on a weekend, or wondering whether you are husband and wife or business partners first, this episode is for you.
Yes.
So we're not relationship counsellors. We don't pretend to be relationship counsellors. We
don't want to be
We
one.
wouldn't like to be relationship counsellors. We're business people who have worked with many family businesses and couples over the years. And we've seen what works, and we've definitely seen what doesn't work. And one thing we've noticed recently is the online forums that exist, specifically Tradie Wives. Every week there are posts on it about this topic.
Heartbreaking, some of them, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And the questions are questions. I'm doing all the admin, but I don't feel appreciated. We argue about money. What else, Crystal? How do we stop talking about work at the weekend? I feel like I'm running the business, but no one sees it. If any of those sound familiar to you, you're definitely not alone.
No, you're not alone. And I often hear it from a male perspective as well. So I don't think it's just a one-way street with the tradie wife, but I think it's a problem per se just for the whole relationship and working together. You know?
I'll put this in as my 2 pennyworth at the moment. My husband never wanted to work with me in my business.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a bookkeeper, I'm not a tradie. But
still.
I think he knew what might happen.
Yeah.
And
he was smart.
He wanted to stay out of it, and he did.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably the best thing that he ever did. Although I didn't really appreciate it at the time.
No.
Because I wanted some extra bookkeeping help, but didn't get it.
Yeah,
but
and he was a finance guy too,
Yeah,
wasn't
he was finance. It seemed like the obvious. Sometimes it might seem like the obvious choice that your partner does come into the business with you, but maybe it isn't the right decision.
No.
I
maybe.
know a lot of comments on Tradie Wives, particularly the women, and it is obviously because it's Tradie Wives, it's the women. They feel that they haven't progressed their career, their own career. So they feel put out, really, that they haven't managed to accomplish what they actually wanted to. So that doesn't help the situation either.
No, it doesn't.
So, Crystal, why do couples work together? There must be some positives to working together in the same business.
Well, Jim and I have been working together, for 35 years in different businesses, and we've really worked it out over the years. It's never been a major problem for us. I think we worked out what our roles were early on, and maybe that's what it is. But it's been a very successful working relationship. We don't argue about the money. We both talk about the same goals. We don't have to do that. So how was your day today when you walk in the door?
That's true. I don't get that anyway. But no. But I think the benefits of working together can be you've got shared goals. It's one business. You're both invested in that one business. So it's not as if you're doing 2 different jobs.
No.
You've got totally different goals. Or even if you've got a woman at home just looking after the kids and the husband's just doing the business, then you've got different goals too.
And I think we need to say here that being at home with the kids is not a secondary job either. That job in itself is just so busy and so important and so tiring in its own right. And then you've got to add running a business in on top of that to say you're helping out. It's a lot of pressure. just to manage it all,
Yeah.
especially if you don't have any other support or you don't know what you're doing. I think that
Yeah.
could be really hard as well.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Shared goals. The one thing that we haven't noted is that often, I think with Jim and I, the money situation and the bank accounts, and I'm not sure how everybody runs their bank accounts and money situation differently, but Jim and I always shared. We had a business account and then we had a personal account, and we shared both, so we both had equal access to it. We didn't have my account and then his account, and then this expense account where we share the expenses. I don't know how everybody works, but that was kind of how we do. So
that probably helps if you split that up. If you don't have it combined, that would probably, I would imagine, help if you've got things split. I know with me, I've got my account, his account, our account.
Oh, okay, so you've got them all different.
Yeah, and then my business account.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So do you each have your own money and then you put it into the expense account, and then then the bills get paid out of that type of thing?
Yeah, the bills get paid out of the expense account.
And then what do you do for holidays?
We've got a holiday account too.
Oh, okay, so you've got lots of different accounts, and you put all that money into those buckets?
Yes.
So is it our money, or is it my money, your money?
To be honest, it's all our money. Oh, no, it's not. Some of it's mine.
Okay.
Some of it's mine. It's mine. No, he's got his, I've got mine. He spends a lot of money on photography.
Right, but that's
and what he spends. I don't ask questions except when something arrives at the doorstep and I say, "Did you buy something else today?"
He likes to buy.
He got me back today because I got some stuff delivered from Chemist Warehouse, some beauty products. So he said, what did you get from Chemist? Beauty products. So we have a bit of a laugh about it. But no, I think the whole point of that is if you've got enough money, you're okay.
Yes.
Once it starts to get short.
Yes.
And I think a lot of businesses and people out there have issues with not enough cash. So that's when it gets hard. I want to go back to the advantages of working together, first of all.
Yeah, okay.
So understanding each other's pressures.
I think that, like you said before, like having shared goals, what do you actually want to get out of the business? I think that trust in each other to do the right thing in the business and to trust each other's skills is probably really key.
And you're building something together.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
Flexibility, how would that work?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know.
I think you've got to be flexible with each other. And things change in business so quickly to kind of know, like suddenly you've got too much work, too little work, too much money, no money. I think being flexible to be able to change or pivot, I guess, how you do things. I was speaking to a client this morning and he was talking about listening to Richard Branson on this podcast. I think there's a podcast or something where they combine all his books into one thing.
Okay, well.
So it's really quite an interesting thing. But what he did was that when his magazine that he had at that uni magazine or the music magazine that he had, they used to put salesmen, they were going really good and it was like a mail order thing, and they would put little record singles on top of the newsletter.
Okay.
And what ended up happening was that the mail in the UK went on strike. And so he ended up, that whole business failed.
Oh dear.
So then then what they did was they went and opened up a record shop on Oxford Street. And then suddenly that just blew up and they ended up with 30 stores around the UK, because then people could actually just walk in there to buy the records instead of it being on the mail order. They could actually go in there and buy it. So it's interesting how sometimes when your business or situations happen that your business gets caught in,
Yep.
you have to be able to be flexible to be able to move your business to something that's going to make it profitable.
Yep. So I think now let's talk about the couple who are fighting over everything. So a plumbing business.
Yeah.
He was on the tools. She
Yeah.
ran the office.
Yeah.
Every afternoon he'd arrive home asking, have we been paid? Did you order the parts? We haven't. Why haven't you answered that customer? She felt criticised. He felt out of control. Neither realised they were actually asking the wrong questions. They should have been asking. So what changed? How did they change this situation that they were in? I think what they did was, and what we recommend to other people that you do, is introduce weekly meeting, a business meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Don't talk about this stuff a dinner.
That's a great idea.
Or in bed.
Yes.
Introduce a meeting, an official. It's a business.
Yeah.
Don't act like it's not a business. So have a meeting with your partner to discuss business.
Well, Jim and I do
issues.
that. We have a meeting on Mondays at 2:30 every Monday, and we go through the business for an hour. So we look at outstanding monies. We look at the job statuses and where every job's at. How's the admin tracking? Is there anything they haven't done last week or need to do? And then we look at marketing. How do we keep getting work in? And we actually track that and make a note of that. So that weekly meeting is important for us. I know that much.
Yep.
What about, your financial updates? So you could do your financial updates in that meeting, but Jim and I will have a separate meeting for the end of financial or at the end of month.
End of month, yeah.
Yeah, so then we look at what's happening in the end of month.
And something else that you really do need to do is you need to define the responsibilities for each of you.
Yeah.
And have those separate. Don't have them crossing over. That'll just cause arguments.
But agreed shared responsibility.
Agreed shared responsibilities.
Yeah, I think that's the key.
Yep.
So how would you, so if you think about that couple that's arguing all the time and everything, how would they go about that?
They'd schedule a meeting for Monday mornings.
Yep.
And they would sit down. The first thing they'll be discussing is what is everybody's responsibility. So what's the wife's responsibility, what's the husband's responsibility, who's doing the bookkeeping, who's doing the ordering, who's doing the quoting, who's doing the actual jobs.
Yeah.
And not to cross over on those two.
Well, that's where the trust comes in.
Yep, that's true.
And
that's true.
I suppose if you feel like you've got too much on your plate already just from the tradie wife, right? And if the husband thinks he's got too much on his, maybe it's time to get an admin or a bookkeeper.
True. Yes.
Or maybe you need to get other help in the business and maybe look at how profitable you are. But if you're both feeling like you're drowning or you're fighting over everything, I think having shared responsibilities is fine, or agreed responsibilities is fine. But if there's no trust and you're arguing all the time, that could be tricky too.
True.
But you might need another person in the business.
Mm-hmm. What about, I've just thought of this.
Yeah.
What about having the kids do work for you in the business?
Oh, God, a 2-year-old doing work.
No.
They're older.
People do if they're older, don't they?
Yeah.
Kids do.
I was at a meeting Tuesday afternoon, and there was a 13-year-old son there his dad was a plumber, and he brought him along to that B&I meeting, and he was there because he had been short-staffed, and his son was helping him. So I thought that was really, really sweet. He was with all these adults, and there's this young kid. What a great experience for him, right?
Something else you people out there can call in, write in about is, do your sons or daughters work in your business with you?
Well, my dad, when we were back in South Africa days, remember the days where if you had a petrol station or a service station, you used to have an account? So everybody used to have a petrol account back in the day. So there was no credit card.
I don't remember that far back.
That was before credit cards. We had checks and cash, and then so you used to have that little. And some little corner stores used to run accounts as well, and then you'd pay it at the end of the month.
Yep.
But he used to have me typing up the invoices, and I must have been about 11 or 12. And he bought me a typewriter, and I used to sit there on the weekends for some pocket money, and I used to type up all the invoices. So so I was cheap labour, I think, back in the day.
I didn't actually work for my father because he worked for the government, to be honest. But every year he used to work on the census or the polling or whatever.
Yeah.
And he had I remember I used to help him. I had to cross off all the names of the people. I think we got the pieces of paper, the people who'd voted.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had to cross off with a ruler each name. So I helped him do that.
Well, isn't that great? It's like giving you responsibility when you were a kid. And I think sometimes giving kids responsibility from a younger age definitely helps set them up it helps them as they become an adult. They can see what it's about.
But your kids didn't go into your business, did they?
No, they did in the service station days. We used to get them to work in the fridge, and they'd be the packers. They still talk about it. I think we used to pay them in pies and Slurpees. Okay. No, but they did. And Christmas Day used to be our busiest day of the year. And so we used to, and this was something that was a conflict for Jim and I when we first met. when you own a 24-hour business 7 days a week, you sometimes have to work on the busiest days. And so Christmas Day was our busiest day. And for a lot of retailers, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And we always had to work. So we could never be away during those times. We had to be on call 24 hours and we had to work. And that was, and my sons used to work for a long, we had it, 10, 15 years? They used to have to work from when they were very little to when they were teenagers. Every Christmas Day and Boxing Day, they would have to work. But I don't know, no one ever really complained. We just got on with it. It was an accepted thing in our family.
Yep. So going back to this couple, because they'd introduced their monthly meetings and they had their defined responsibilities, arguments reduced dramatically. Nothing magical happened, but communication improved.
Yeah, I could see how that would work.
So it wasn't a big change, a big thing, but it was just setting the boundaries, I suppose.
That's a really good word. I like that. It might be my key takeout word today, boundaries. I think knowing what you're getting into, and then also when you are arguing a lot, you got to just sit down and just go, hey, what's more important here?
Yeah.
And do it earlier than later would be my advice for that as well.
Yes. So I think one of the biggest problems isn't communication, it's unclear expectations. So people assume that the other person knows what the other person wants, what the other person's thinking.
Yeah.
And often, very often, that is not the case. I'm probably thinking of myself and at home.
Yeah.
Although we don't work in the same business, that still probably holds true. That you think what the other person is thinking, but you actually don't.
I think we all do that to a point, don't we? Like, I think we assume. Is that, what's that saying? It makes an ass out of you and me, if you break the word down, assume.
Oh, okay. It's like that. What was it we learned earlier on? We didn't know what AITA stood for. It's am I the asshole? We had to look that up. That was on one of the comments that we got off the
I've never seen
Facebook
that
page.
acronym before.
No, me
but
neither.
I think you're absolutely right, Kay. It's one of the biggest problems. Yes, communication is definitely one, but I think also that those unclear expectations, or those assumptions, like we're thinking they understand our side of the story, or they know what's happening to us in the day. And we often make that assumption that we understand what's happening to them in the day. But if you've never been in the truck and been on the job sites and that, I think it's really hard for you to be realistically the same. Do you know what I mean? You would have to try and understand it. So what about the biggest mistakes couples make when there's no clear roles, Kay? That's when everybody does everything.
Well,
or one person does it, or one person feels like they're doing everything.
I suppose there's no accountability if there's no clear roles.
Yeah.
There's also no accountability for something being done. So things might not get done, or one person might think the other person's doing it.
Yeah, and then some things just don't get done because there's that assumption again.
Then you've got an immediate reaction, an immediate thing to argue about, to be upset about. So
I think it's important then that we spoke before, that roles, like who owns each role. And it'd probably be quite good to write that down, like even if you had a whiteboard, write down the roles on the board and just go, who does this? Well, I'm not that good at this. Maybe we should get somebody to help us. I'm just thinking admin, bookkeepers, maybe
quoting. Possibly.
Yeah. And then also maybe like if you need like someone else there to quote, or you could have someone else like a supervisor or a project manager to help you if your business is big enough. That thing.
Yep.
I know talking about business 24/7.
Big mistake.
Yes. Now, I do know Jim and I have done that in the past, especially when things are going really badly. We have, and it's been super stressful. But it is, I have an office that's not at home. And I love that because that means I when I'm at home, I don't really want to talk about work unless there's a real major problem. So I feel like that could be, if that's possible, or I often, when I open the door, it's like I leave work at the door. And then when I go to work, it's like I pick up my work and I go back. And I'd really try and differentiate my life like that, because otherwise it's bad for my own work-life balance.
I never do that.
Oh, couldn't you?
No.
I learned to do that. I think I had to learn how to do that for my own bloody sanity.
I mean, the only reason I don't talk about work is my husband won't talk to me about my work anyway, so I don't have a choice.
Did you feel a bit neglected by that? Did you want to talk to him about it?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So how did that make you feel?
neglected.
Yeah.
No, I've got used to it. I suppose the way I got over it, I have a lot of business associates,
Yes.
such as Crystal Petzer, who I talk to about my business.
We've been talking for a long time, haven't
So
we?
I suppose that's an option for people. If you still want to talk about the business some more, and if maybe you have a partner who doesn't work in the business, who isn't interested in the business, then you can go to network meetings, talk to other business owners, or get yourself a business coach and talk to them.
Yeah, business coaches are good for that. I used to talk to my dad a lot.
I talked to my hairdresser.
Did you?
Not so
When
much
my dad was alive, I
not
used
so
to talk
much
to him.
about business. But
Didn't you used to talk to your personal trainer as well?
I used to talk to my personal trainer. My personal trainer, I became his bookkeeper.
Yeah.
I used to work in corporate and I was very unhappy. And he was very instrumental in me starting out on my own as a bookkeeper. And he was my first client. So, he knew.
He followed your journey all the way through leaving.
He followed my journey. So, yes.
Yeah, well, there you go. So you never know where that listener is or that person you can share things with, or that you feel like you've been heard.
Yes.
I think that's
I
important.
suppose something we should say here, although we don't know a lot about it, is that if people really are struggling to the point where they're feeling very miserable and upset, there are organisations that you can reach out to. I'm thinking Beyond Blue.
Oh, yeah.
Those people. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need to reach out. Don't wait.
I think also just communicating that, can we not talk about business in a nice way, though, instead of, we're always talking about business.
Yeah.
I think also just to say, can we not all have a rule that you both agree to, that can we just, after 5 p.m., we kind of just don't talk about business until the morning again. We've been talking a lot about the different roles and all of that stuff, but I just thought I'd share another story that I've got here. So this person was saying, if you work with your husband full time, is it my business, is it his business, or is it our business? And if you come from a different career and you might have a degree or like a teacher or a nurse or anything really to support and work for the now family business, and just say they've taken it over. Well, this particular person I know took it over from a family business, so it's got passed down. They now have children and the business is now their livelihood, right, or her livelihood. And secondly, if your husband makes 300K plus purchases without discussing it with you, what's your opinion? He could be saying it's my money, my choice, and not discussing that with you. So that can really make you feel quite alienated and alone. Or it could be the other way. It could work the other way as well. And maybe you start to feel a little upset and he might start to feel like you're being ungrateful.
And you could feel invisible sometimes.
And you could also feel invisible.
Do you think some of this depends on the personalities of the...
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. I really feel maybe that sometimes some partners should not work together.
Yes.
I just feel that maybe Mark, for you, kind of knows that. But I know my mum and dad always worked together. My grandparents had a business as well, and they worked together. So I come from a family where it was normal, and maybe that kind of helped me. But I also saw the fights, and I also saw the how they worked it out and matured through it. But I just wonder whether, I mean, it's a great question. Is it my business? I think where I would say Jim and I equal partners. So even on the franchise agreement with Hire a Hubby and that, we are both listed on there. So it's both of us, right?
Isn't it? That's another thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
What does the paperwork look like?
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing.
You get the paperwork so that it's your business, both of you.
Both of us.
I bet with loads of businesses that's not the case.
No, I don't think it is. And you know what else a lot of business owners do as well? They will actually, their wife, they may pay wages to their wife as another way of getting money out of the business, even though she doesn't receive it. So it could just be, and that could be problematic if you separate or whatever. You've been on the book getting those wages, but you actually never saw 1 cent of that type of thing. It goes into the shared family money, but I guess it doesn't feel like you've earned it. No, you know what I mean? It's more like a convenience. So I feel, you're right. I think have a chat with whoever, if it's a business that they've had for a long time, how do you become a partner in that business then? And then if something happens and you get divorced, right, just say, or somebody does or something, then at least you can continue running that business or ownership of it. Or I know of one friend that when her and her husband split up, she ended up taking over the business and he went on and found a different business altogether.
Yeah.
And she knew how to run it. And so that helped her earn an income, and he kept the house and she took the business.
Yep.
So I feel like that's not, there are different ways to do it. But I think it's definitely these conversations. It's a bit like if you go to a partnership with a business, Kay.
Yeah. It's the same thing often, isn't it? You see people who go into business together, not husband and wife, but they don't have an agreement.
A partnership.
They don't have an agreement either.
Oh, gosh.
We've seen a few of those, haven't we?
I've seen some really ugly ones over the years. Definitely with clients who have taken on a partner and they've kind of didn't do the paperwork right. There was everything, a handshake and a great conversation, but nothing was put down on paper. And it just ends up in massive tears and massive mess. Yep. And one always feels like they both feel like they've both been ripped off, and it ruins really good friendships. You know, I'm very nervous of that.
Go back to the people who shouldn't be in business together.
Yeah, maybe stick to your own career.
If it was me, I'd stick to my career.
Yeah,
I'm apart from one thing I like is I like to be liked. I'm also very selfish.
You're also very selfish, okay.
And I know, which is why I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
It's not the main reason, but it's one of the reasons.
Yeah, okay. You just want to have your life. I mean, a lot of people are making that decision.
It's my money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do what I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was a bit the same, Kay, and that's probably why I went into business really early as well. I wanted it to be... I didn't want to be in a situation where I wasn't in control of my own money. I watched many women of my mum's generation, and I think people forget that women have very little rights. And I watched a lot of people when I was growing up where they got divorced and they had not 1 cent. They didn't even know where the bank account... In fact, I think Jim's mum doesn't even have access to the bank account. But I always said to myself that I do not want that. But I think if you have a career that you're happy with, you may not enjoy being an admin person. It's a very big change. And know your partner really well. How happy is your partner going to take that you get to suggest things that he should be doing? Is he going to be happy with that?
No.
Some might, but some may not. So if you got to try, I think it sounds very romantic and sounds very nice, but I think it's a real conversation to have. And if you are caught in that situation, what do you think they should do, Kay?
I'm not sure. I know
it's a decision for them to make, isn't it?
You can't make it for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose every single one of these situations is different.
Every situation is different. I think the bottom line is think of yourself.
Yeah.
Think of yourself. I know I'm selfish, but think of yourself first.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day...
I think there's for women, we also tend to, we've got that nurturing hormone in us, and sometimes we just go, that sounds really good, I'll just go with it, or it's for the greater good of the family, or I can get to spend more time with the kids, or I get to, it's that. But for most business owners, the grass is always green on the other side. So people who are in corporate jobs or office jobs where they're just working for someone, they think business owners are running around having all the time in the world. And then business owners look at those people and they go, oh my God, they could just go for lunch whenever they want. They got a set day at a time. They don't have to work weekends.
I think a lot of this depends on the success of the business.
I think you're absolutely right. I think the worse the business is, the harder the conversations and the fighting would be.
Yep, exactly.
Absolutely. I think if there was lots of money in the business, there probably wouldn't be that many arguments.
No, don't think so. And you wouldn't feel so bad, whoever it is doing the admin, only doing the admin when you could be doing your big corporate job.
Yeah.
If you're earning lots of money.
Yeah.
But more often than not, you're not earning lots of money.
I think something that needs to be said on both sides of the fence here is that what if you like the role and your husband hates the business?
That can also be.
That could be a scenario. Yes. He could just be burnt out and hates it.
Yep.
never wanted to do that trade in the first place, was forced into it,
Yep.
done it for 20 years, he wants out.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you like the business now.
Yep. Something I was just looking at on my piece of paper, I've got is different priorities. One person wants growth, one wants stability, and neither of them is wrong. So that's where the husband and the wife want different things.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
that can cause major issues.
Major issues.
Sorry to upset you with your stories, Crystal.
Are you getting cold, Kate? Do you want me to?
No, I'm actually okay.
You're okay?
I'm actually fine, yeah.
I can never tell with this aircon in here. So I know we talked about the practical tips. So it's if we just run through those quickly again, it's defining the roles, and probably a little more detail around that. Who owns what? Who does the scheduling? Who does the entering the jobs in the system? Who does the reconciling? Who pays the staff? Who pays the suppliers?
Yep.
Who does the quotes? Who hires the staff? Who does this, manages the staff? Finance, who manages that?
Yep.
Marketing.
Yep.
Who does that? Sales, who's keeping a track of where the sales are coming in from? And this is even just a normal partner in a business. Who's managing the sales leads? How are the sales tracking? Do we need are we relying on one big client for all your work, or do we have enough clients? Customers' technology, do we need new with all this AI now, you're going to have to think about technology. How do you broach that subject? And also to make sure that there's no overlap as well. And I feel like that just sorting that out might help people a lot. That weekly business meeting we've talked about, not while cooking dinner.
Definitely not while cooking dinner. Well,
or lunch or whatever.
To be honest, we don't cook dinner much lately. We've got light and easy, and I have food for fitness, so we just stick them in the microwave. But to be honest, it saves time.
Yeah.
If you want to save yourself some time.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
But it saves on the shopping time.
It's probably cheaper.
I think in the long run, I think it is cheaper.
Your stuff doesn't go off in the fridge.
You don't eat too much.
Yeah.
You can't eat too much because you've got that one portion and that's it.
That's it, yeah.
So, not while cooking dinner, not in the ute, definitely not lying in bed.
Yeah,
so
schedule
it, yeah.
Yeah, schedule
it. Yep.
You say schedule or schedule?
I say
schedule.
Schedule.
I say schedule.
It's a bit
tomato.
It's a bit like project.
Project.
Yeah, project.
I've never heard us say words like this before. That's funny.
Yeah, it depends.
Garage?
I would say, I do say garage now. I would say garage at one time when I used to be in England. It's like grass and grass. We are digressing terribly here.
Very good. That's funny. Okay, so, and then this is something we haven't spoken about, is respect each other's expertise.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that could be where some of those conversations, if you can't be respected, if you can't respect your husband's expertise, and if he can't respect your expertise, then maybe you shouldn't be working together.
I think that's going to end up being my takeout today.
Yeah, because I feel if you don't respect what they do, then how the hell does that work? Don't you think?
Yes.
So I guess the person in the office sees things differently.
Yeah. They certainly do. They certainly will.
Yeah.
And often the person in the office doesn't appreciate what the person on the tools is doing.
And the craziness of the days that happen.
Yes.
And the person on site sees problems differently as well. They're having to fight fires every day, all day, whereas in the office you're probably fighting some fires, but there might be different kind of fires.
They would be different, yes.
And I think both perspectives matter.
They do.
I think it's really important to I feel like respecting each other is such a key for any good marriage anyway. Not that I'm a marriage counsellor, but I think
it's a key for any relationship.
Whether it's a partner, not a family member, but even if it's just a partner in a business, respecting them for their expertise as well would be really important. Yep. I know we talk about celebrating wins with me, the champagne moments, we've talked about those, but I feel like in a business, we ignore that. So I'm wondering whether couples should celebrate those wins that they have as well, because they might have just achieved a huge contract.
Yep.
They might have been under a lot of pressure to get this new business up and running, like expensive equipment or having to put on a lot of staff or trying to get this big contract. So celebrate those wins when you get them.
Yep.
Don't you reckon? And if you have your best financial year ever, like I've spoken to a few clients and they've just had their best financial years ever and they've gone, and I go, hang on. Can we just celebrate you for a minute? Can we just recognize that hard work that you've put in to get there? Because it's been a journey to get that. Who did a great job?
Yep.
Did you do a great job?
It's also celebrating your staff, I would say too, not just the two of you.
Yeah.
And what are you proud of? About what you're proud of.
Yeah.
Not just what you don't like or what's gone wrong, but what are you actually proud of?
I like that.
The fact that you have built a business is something to be proud of.
Yeah.
But stop and think.
Stop and think, yeah.
Stop and think.
I think that celebrating the wins is so important. And I think that's something in life as well, to celebrate the wins or what you're grateful for as well can sometimes
what
be
you're grateful for. Something I don't stop to think about what I'm grateful for often enough.
Yeah.
That should be added to your list of things at the alternative board, not just the champagne moment.
Yeah.
But
what you're grateful for.
What you're grateful for.
I think just even in yourself, if you're feeling a bit overworked or underappreciated or you're feeling a bit invisible, just go back to what you're grateful for. And they do recommend that you do think about that at least once a day and list at least 4 or 5 items.
Yeah.
And it's just a very grounding thing because we can live in the future or live in the past, but it's quite nice to be in the present and just to remind ourselves of what we're grateful for, what's working.
Something else I've just thought about is take time out for yourself, both of you. Do the things that you both enjoy together and separately.
Yep.
So don't just think about business all the time.
Yeah.
Do go and do those things with the kids.
Yeah.
With your relations.
A weekend off or a day
have a weekend off.
Yeah.
That will recharge the batteries.
A date night where you don't have to talk about work or anything and you both just go have a date night. That can be a really nice thing to do.
So, yeah.
So, Kay, as a question for you, what's one thing every couple should stop doing?
Have you got a cheat sheet? Keep everything in their head.
Yeah,
we've talked about that before.
Yeah. I think sharing something and not keeping it all in your head is a huge part of it as well. So sharing it with someone else or with your partner and everything.
Yeah. So what's one thing they should start doing, Crystal?
Well, I would say start talking, start communicating.
Business meetings.
Yeah. 100%. I think it sounds boring. It sounds, oh God, do we have to do this? I can't tell you how important they are in a business. It's ridiculous, yeah.
And what's the best advice you've ever received?
Me? I think the best advice I ever received when I started out, especially if we go back to like working as a couple, is defining our roles. That for me, and for me in particular was leaving work at the door because I can take work where I just take it with me wherever I go. So I had to really learn to switch off. Otherwise, I'm not present. I'm ruminating and thinking about things about work and then doing things without and probably could be a bit grumpy and short if I'm pondering things for too long.
I think we all can be.
Yeah,
grumpy and short.
Yeah, so I knew so I think I had to learn as well to leave work at the door, very much so.
I think something else that can help is, talking about grumpy and short, is learning to express yourself maybe in a different manner.
Yes.
Not don't be grumpy and short.
Yeah.
Rephrase what you want to say or think about it before you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a really, really good book. And it's a very old book, but it's still relevant today. So it's probably a little old, but it's still really. I just reread it a couple of months ago, and that was Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, and I've forgotten the author's name right now, but there's not too many books called that.
No,
and that was a really interesting book on how men behave and how women behave and how we communicate, and we have very different styles. And women are connected to everything and are aware of everything because we had to be. Whereas men kind of can compartmentalize everything in their head and they actually have a little box that has nothing in it. For us women, we don't even know what a box with nothing in it looks like. We would dream of that, but we don't have one of those. And they can actually just sit there and do nothing and think about nothing, and they know how to do that. And I think they had to learn that nature gave them that.
Okay.
So for us to understand sometimes, and they talk about the man cave and how a man will retreat to the back of his cave. They do a beautiful example and stories around that, and how I know Jim's very much like that. He'll disappear into his man cave, and I know my one son's very much that way. They don't like to talk about it, and so they keep it. They just keep it to themselves, and they don't talk about it. And the more us women go, we want to talk about it. We like talking about it. We just want to talk about it. And I'm a talker, so I need to talk things out. But if I don't talk about it, it really bothers me. Whereas they don't, it bothers them to have to talk about it.
But it bothers me that they don't want to talk about it.
Exactly. But I think we have to learn to respect that people have different ways of dealing with things, and sometimes being that over-communicator. Find someone else to talk to, but don't expect them to be that person for you. And I think that can sometimes help as well, just that acknowledgement as well.
So what's the biggest lesson working with couples that you've
Oh, geez. The biggest lesson that I've learned. I think with couples, and I've worked with quite a few couples, I really do think defining your roles, defining if you are in the business, is it my business, your business, or our business? Because if it's never our business, then decisions have to be made.
Yeah.
Or know your role and be happy with it. But if you're not happy with it, then I would say it's never going to get any better for you. And it works the same as just being a partner in a business. It's basically like another marriage. And if you can't, you have to be able to talk about things and discuss things and sort things out. And it's no different to that either. You've been listening to Kay and Crystal, Small Business Sorted.
So working with your partner can be one of the most rewarding experiences you'll ever have.
Yes.
Or one of the most frustrating.
Yes.
The difference usually isn't love.
No.
It's systems. It's communication. It's clear roles. So what's your takeout this week, Crystal?
I think my takeout was definitely don't make assumptions. I feel like I probably have done that. Like there have been times where I probably made assumptions about Jim. I've also expected him to be better at other things that I know he's not good at. And I've made assumptions that he is better at that, and it's backfired. And so we've had to work through that. It hasn't all been roses for us either, but we have had a fantastic 35 years of working together. And to be honest, our relationship is as strong as ever. But I feel like that assumptions and being very clear who does what for me is my takeout.
Yeah.
What's yours, Kay?
I think treat each other like business partners during the day.
Yep.
And partners in life when the workday ends.
Oh, that's a big switch.
Yep. So you'll be surprised how much better both your business and your relationship can become.
Yeah. Because I think you've got to remember you're in a relationship as well. It's not just a business relationship. And I think that can get very blurred.
Yep.
And we would love some feedback.
And see you next week.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.